Testing, testing. Testing, testing. Lovely. Alright guys. If anyone is watching, then please feel free to say anything in the chat. We will just start from here. It's the most basic. Let's just wait for some people to come in and then we will start from there. But I think everything is working nicely in terms of volume and everything like that. But yes, please just let me know if there is anything different that may be done. Just wait till we can get a few questions in and then we start from there. Cool. So once again, any questions, and then we can start from there. Anyone get the ball rolling? Won't be live for too long. I have to go for dinner. But yes. Yeah. Hopefully an hour. Hour is good enough, I think. You know what, we could start with one question actually. And you guys will have to let me know if you can hear my voice perfectly fine, or is it too low, too loud, so on and so forth. I'm just trying to make this a bit more seamless, but obviously there are growing pains in this. Based on something like this, like I think we could do quite good content in terms of identifying people who have some issues muscle group wise and stuff, and blah blah. We can start from there. One thing that I usually have a big issue with, and so I'm just going to turn the music down slightly. I think that should be good. Yeah, so one big issue that at least I have when I am doing my like if I sleep awkwardly or anything like that, then I always get a nagging issue right here in my levator scapulae. I don't exactly know how to pronounce it, but yeah, levator scapulae. Listen,
Levator scapula. Levator scapula.
levator scapula. Anyways, so usually like an issue that stems over here, that's what gets your shoulder all acting up weird and everything as well. So tightness usually in the levator scapula is what causes quite a few issues in terms of shoulder problems, or you're suddenly starting to feel your shoulder uh, feel off or anything like that. But yeah, that's usually it for me as well. Where if I sleep awkwardly, I get this really bad tightness in the muscle over here, and then all in all, my shoulder starts to really bug the hell out of me, just due to tightness over here. So I usually always am literally like just going like that throughout, because it just relieves some. I wouldn't say stress, just a bit of tightness. Yeah, but that is one thing. Then you have your beautiful little rotator cuff muscles, which again is a huge problem for many people, where one of these muscles is super weak, and that usually ends up hurting their, not hurting their shoulder, but causing some issues in the shoulder in terms of stability. So whenever they have some problems, so in their rotator cuff, then they will usually feel it onto their shoulder, sadly. And something similar for the bicep as well, because now since our bicep, go a layer further, now our bicep is attached to our humerus, so our humerus being this bone right here, right? So since our long head and our short head of the bicep and our coracobrachialis, however you pronounce that, is attached to the bicep itself. So sorry, is attached to the humerus, which again, humerus connects to our shoulder. So the head of humerus, and then the glenoid alongside the scapula. So everything, when it works in conjunction, it connects into that socket. Usually we face some sort of bicep tendonitis, and when it's bicep tendonitis, then we get that bad nagging pain in our shoulder as well, which we sometimes attribute to, oh, it's a shoulder issue, but usually it's the case of being bicep tendonitis as well. Alongside, of course, rotator cuff may be weak, and it's not just that the rotator cuff is weak, that's why you have these problems. Rotator cuff can be weak, and then you move your scapula awkwardly or anything like that, and that's what causes issues as well. So yeah, and I've had these issues so much, alongside having knee problems. My god, I mean, don't even know where to start with those, but essentially a lot of patella tendon. So you have the tendon of the quadriceps, but so I will have to go connective tissue. There we go. So the patella, this piece of shit always bugs pretty much everyone. Where if we go a few more layers further with the patella, so yeah, okay. So usually, whenever people have like bad issues in their knees, or their knees are hurting, especially in right dead center in the middle, usually a case of patella tendonitis. And oh man, it is a pain in the ass to deal with, but it's nothing that a few exercises for your glutes, a few exercises for your hamstrings and your quads can't fix. So trying to isolate them the best you can without uh, fighting that knee pain, essentially. So any sort of exercises that do not demand much load onto the knee and you're going through more so just extension and flexion exercises, usually that tends to help quite a fair bit as well. Again, in my experience, that has been the case and helped me quite a bit, where I've dealt with these pains and it's gotten way better, alhamdulillah. Yep. Then let's just go to the larger muscle groups. So if we go to the seventh layer of our, sorry, yeah. So we go to our seventh layer of the muscles. We will go to, of course, the top layer, and here is where we see basically like the muscles that we are looking to define and try and reveal. And usually these are the muscles that pretty much everyone knows as well. So you have your traps, three layers of the traps again. So you have your transverse, which is the middle part. You have your descending, which is the upper trap, and then you have your lower traps, which is the ascending. So essentially the reason they are ascending, transverse, and descending is just in accordance to how the muscle fibers look. So you have ascending muscle fibers over here, you have transverse muscle fibers here, and then you have descending muscle fibers on this end. And that's essentially how they're named, which is quite cool in my opinion. And then we have our rear delts, so our three heads of the shoulder. So our front delts, which is the front part of the shoulder. Then we have our side delts, and last we have our rear delt. And usually rear delt is pretty much the muscles that we work the least, sorry, in our movements, just because we're doing so much push movement that we tend to completely forget about the rear delt. So it's really important that alongside everything you work out the rear delt as well. Tend to completely forget about the rear delt. So it's really important that alongside everything. Cool. So we just wait for some questions to come in and then move along. I mean, have this little dude paired with us to help out as well. Swat, the Taliban have tied the hands of Major Ehsan and other soldiers of the Pakistan Army as hostages. To circle DSPP Saeed is lying on the ground injured at the behest of the local Jirga. Taliban released the kidnapped police and army personnel. My god, man. The kind of shit happening in our fucking country is ridiculous. This made me very sad. Like, extremely sad. Dear Blues, today marks the end of my journey with Chelsea FC. I am incredibly grateful for the times I spent at this special club. At this point, I would like to express my appreciation for my teammates, the coaches and staff, and especially for you, the special supporters of Chelsea Football Club. I felt so much love and support throughout the last 2 years, and I will never forget how you guys stood behind me in good hands and in challenging times. We lifted trophies like the Champions League together, and I will always remember the song you wrote and chanted for me. I'm already looking forward to hopefully playing at Stamford Bridge again one day. I love this guy. Seriously.
Second in that race. Second.
Gonna miss people. Pete Davidson joining Kim K. What the fuck, man? Maria the goat. Oh man, that's such a sick skill, but just didn't come off there. Poor guy. Chelsea could get a low fee or low debt. Oh my god. Okay. Right. Alright, come on, guys. Anything to us? Do you take protein shakes? Yes, I do. I do take protein shakes, but again, um, I don't think it's necessary. It's just like, uh, if I feel the need, like if I haven't had um, enough protein on the day, then I usually just go for a protein shake. But it's not really like a staple, essentially. Just every now and then, if I feel like it, then yeah, I go for it. I don't like the way they taste, to be honest. I think they taste like absolute shit. That's why it makes it a lot harder for me to have it. I did just have one though right now, but again, that's just because I didn't have enough protein and because I know I'm going for dinner and I probably won't get enough protein. That's how I work around it. It's not that I have to have it every single day. Like, you can learn quite a bit on this website actually. So just make examine.com. Phenomenal. Do you recommend it for beginners? No, not needed. Again, you have to look at the whole picture, not just like one side of it. If you feel like you aren't getting enough protein on a specific day, even as a beginner, then you can take it, but it's not necessary. You should be looking at like the larger scale picture, which is making sure that things basic things, man, like just getting enough water, um, 3 to 4 liters just to start off with. And for protein, 1 gram per pound of body weight. So if you weigh like let's just say 140 pounds, 120 to 140 grams of protein per day is good enough. Try to get it more so from whole foods, so your chicken, eggs, beef, fish, things like that. And if you fall short of the protein mark, then you can always just take it. It doesn't do any harm. It's completely natural. If you want to actually learn about it, let's just look at it right now and read through it together as well, so that you get a better understanding of it. So, whey protein. What is whey protein? Whey protein is a collection of proteins found in whey, a byproduct of cheese making. When a coagulant, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, is added to milk, the curds, casein, and whey separate. So casein and whey are the two proteins that are found in milk. And now when these two things are separated, then you get casein and whey. Uh, Casein is basically slower digesting protein. Whey is a faster digesting protein, so you will get the benefits of whey instantly, where casein takes slightly longer to absorb. But it's not that big a deal in the grand scheme. Both do pretty much the same thing. Whey protein is the water soluble part of milk. As a supplement, it's sold as dry powders with various levels of processing that affect how concentrated a source of protein they are and how fast they are absorbed. What are the benefits of whey? It's a high quality, well absorbed source of protein that's very useful for hitting targeted daily protein goals. Its benefits extend to the benefits of increased protein intake in general, such as augmenting muscle gain in conjunction with resistance training, limiting muscle loss during low calorie diets, and modestly limiting fat gain during periods of excessive calorie intake. These effects aren't exclusive to whey protein, but it will likely be more effective than most other protein sources per gram. Well, so what are whey protein side effects and drawbacks? Whey protein does not harm the liver or kidneys, but it can exacerbate pre-existing damage. People with damaged livers or kidneys should exercise caution when increasing protein intake quickly without the guidance of a doctor. Now, again, this is a very cautious message being relayed to people, where it does not harm liver and kidneys. That should be your main takeaway, not that it can exacerbate pre-existing damage, because not everyone has that existing damage to the liver or kidneys, so you will be perfectly fine. Plus, none of us are actually going to that upper limit of protein where it actually starts to damage us. Thankfully not. But essentially, once again, it is just a byproduct of milk itself. So when you're bloody well milking a cow, and that milk, when you put something inside it, it's then separated, then you get whey and you get casein. Whey is then given to all these big manufacturers. Uske saath, what they do is make sure to essentially process it in a way that it becomes more palatable. So palatable meaning that taste thoda acha ho jaye uska, and when the taste is better, then obviously they can sell it more easy, they can market it more easy, and so on and so forth. And the only reason people take it is because it's just quick. It's not like they don't have to wait or cook it or anything like that. They literally just put it into a shaker, shake it up, it's ready, and they start drinking. So that's the benefit. That's the benefit, that it's super easy and convenient. So look at whey from a convenience standpoint, not from a standpoint that it is the be all or end all. I hope that helps. I hope I made sense. If you have any questions about what I've just said, please shoot. And again, for beginners, it does absolutely no harm. You can definitely take it. It's no big deal. But end of the day, you should be making sure that you get majority of your protein from whole food sources rather than just protein powders. more questions, guys, please shoot. Make the most of this opportunity that you have with me. Excuse me. Mohammed As, is growth through calisthenics slow compared to weight training? No. Just depends, really. Again, look at it from the standpoint of what really drives muscle gain or fat loss or whatever. So muscle is gained when you are progressively overloading on specific movements that you're trying to get stronger with, or progressively overloading a certain muscle. So let's just say, like, we have the pull up. That's the most easiest example. Sorry. So pull up, definitely like one of the best exercises for your upper body. Super versatile, super nice. You can do so many different movements when you have accomplished the pull up as well. So it's a great movement. So like, muscle building wise as well, it's awesome. Of course, you're not isolating any muscle because it's a compound exercise. You're working quite a few muscle groups, which is always welcome, right? The only thing is that when you are doing the pull up and you get to a point where, let's just say, for 4 weeks you're doing the pull up, first week may you start with just doing 3 sets for 8 reps, and then by the fourth week you end up with 3 sets and you're doing 10 reps for each and every set. So that has progressively overloaded and that specific exercise, which means you have built strength, you have built muscle as well. Take now, the main thing you need to see is, okay, how far long can you just keep taking that progress up and up and up and up and up, right? That is where you probably get a little drawn back with calisthenics, because just adding reps on reps on reps on reps is very difficult, and it gets, to be honest, it gets very boring. So what I like to do is make sure that I have a combination of both, where I start doing weighted pull-ups or weighted chin-ups, weighted push-ups, weighted dips, things like that. So weighted calisthenics, where it's easier to keep adding weight onto yourself, external load. So where one week you might be doing 20 kg, the next few weeks later you start doing 25 kg and you go for the same amount of reps. That means you have progressively overloaded that exercise, that movement, and you are getting stronger and have built muscle as well. So I hope that helps. Again, it just really depends. If your goal is to get stronger at calisthenics, then you do calisthenics along with a combination of weight training as well, which is just going to help you with isolated movements and just add more versatility to your training so you don't get bored, essentially. So look at the best of both worlds. Don't just go for like one thing, in my opinion. But if you have a specific goal to get a specific movement from calisthenics, then obviously you want to train that movement, right? You don't want to go for everything else. Wouldn't make sense. Oh man, talking so much is tiring. Good question though, Mohammed. I mean, like that's quite a mm, how do we say? That's quite a common question I get as well. So I'm glad you asked that, because I mean there are quite a few people who are confused about it. But again, Mohammed, answering your earlier questions as well. If you ever have like supplement questions, then or even things like vitamins or anything like that, then definitely check this site out, examine.com. Uh, I'll just put the link in the chat as well, so that's easier for you. But super, super good, man. Like, amazing resource to learn about pretty much everything. And again, I forgot to read this, but the protein in cow's milk is 80% casein and 20% whey protein. Whey protein powder is extremely popular due to its high digestibility and well-researched benefits for both muscle gain and fat loss. Now, that doesn't mean that just because you have whey protein means that you're going to start gaining muscle and losing fat. That comes in conjunction with a lot of other things as well. Are you training properly? Are you getting the right amount of nutrition in? So on and so forth. Can you suggest a beginner calisthenics workout? Nah, man. I'm sorry, I can't. Like, I'd love to, but I'd just be dishonest with you. Nothing else. Because, again, when it comes to a workout, you want to make sure that you are working, of course, with the client's goals in mind, the client's um, starting point in mind. So there's a lot of things that go into making a actual workout program. Making a program or programming is not easy. People just think it's easy because जिम में जो आप अक्सर देखते हो वो यही है कि बंदा नया नया आता है जिम में, ट्रेनर जो है बस कोई रैंडम वर्कआउट दे देता है उसको, and yeah, that's all. They don't really put their mind to it. But yeah, what I do, I make sure I put my mind into it, my mind, my effort into that specific thing, so that I can make sure that my client gets the best possible results, inshallah. And to be honest, Mohammed, just start. Like, that's the best thing, man. Just start. Don't be lazy about it. Just start. You can start with anything as well, you know. Um, like uh, basic push pull legs. You can start off with that, or you can do 4 days a week where you do an upper day, a lower day, then rest, then an upper day and a lower day, then rest and rest again. So that completes your entire week. So I think like that's the best thing you could do. Or upper days में तुम वही you do push and pull movements, and you could do different combinations of all, but and different sets and reps. But again, sets and reps में वही बात, like you can create a basic general structure like 3 sets, and then her exercise के लिए you can go for maybe like a 6 to 12 rep range. That's the hypertrophy range, and you can see where you want to play around with that. The later exercises being on the top, on the higher end of the rep spectrum, since you can expend more energy on them without like losing the strength or the energy for the rest of the movements. And the first 1 or 2 movements, usme you want to go a bit heavier, more intense, then uske liye I would say to go on the lower end of the spectrum in terms of reps and sets. Not sets, sorry, just reps. But yeah, just start, man. That's the best thing you can do. Or you just join my coaching and I coach you through the entire process myself. That's the easier way to do it. That's the more expensive but the easier way to do it. Good questions though, Mohammed. I do hope you fulfill your calisthenics journey well, inshallah. Let's go back to Twitter. My Twitter is pretty much filled with either Pakistani politics or um, football. That's all.
No one has scored more. Well, I'd say signing off with a double.
and still he goes on. But he's done it. Timo Werner.
Werner, that's brilliant away from Bednarek.
He's hit the bar. What about the rebound? In from Werner, and this time it counts. Big goal from Timo Werner. Good ball from James. Onto the head of Timo Werner, who buries it.
Werner can use his pace here. He's quicker than Bednarek.
Around Foster. He's done it
goal!
this time.
What a goal!
Superb Timo Werner. And Chelsea.
Loved him.
This is one of the biggest clubs in the world. We have perfect training conditions. We have a fantastic stadium. We have massive fan support, probably the best fan support I've ever experienced. So it's probably not, it's not the manager's quality. It's about changing all the other things that have brought the club into a position as we're in right now. As I said earlier on, the good thing about what happened, one of the very few good things is that it's crystal clear. It's not that difficult. You don't even need glasses to analyze and to see where the problems are. So now it's only about how do we solve them. And for me, it's clear. It's not enough to do some little minor amendments, some little issues here and there, some minor cosmetic things. No, this is, in medicine you would see this is an operation at the open heart. So there are more things to be changed than some little things here and some minor things there. And this is the good thing. And for me, this is, if this happens, and if everybody has realized that this has to happen, and if people want to work together, then it makes sense. And then I still believe that it doesn't need and take 2 or 3 years to change those things. This can happen within 1 year. All respect to Jürgen and Pep, I'm sure that they didn't do all the things themselves. There were also other people involved in those two clubs, top people in certain positions, no matter in which area it was. In order to rebuild and build something that we want to build here, in all areas you have to have top people, and they have to work together in a very close and in a very reliable way.
Think we're getting cranky? I hope so. And I mean, I'm guessing you're a Chelsea fan. But yeah, I do hope so, man. Frankie's gonna be fucking insane. Baller. This was very nice to see. So Blackburn apparently has like a separate prayer room for their Muslim fans. So they tweeted, Muslim supporters attending our game against blah blah blah. This Wednesday we understand that you will need to observe Maghrib Salah at 8:55 p.m. Please ask a steward for directions as we have made a lounge available to accommodate. That's so nice to see. Genuinely, like when I saw this, this made my heart melt. I loved it. Huge respect to Blackburn. Genuinely. Huge respect. At least someone's doing something for the Muslim community. Oh my god. Barcelona's finance team. Dons will wear a turtleneck and start giving you financial advice. Bloody hell, man. Barcelona is a joke. Genuinely a joke of a club. Ridiculous. Like, look at this, man. La Liga allowed Barca to buy Braithwaite from Legans outside the transfer window on an emergency exception because of Dembele's injury. Legans applied for an emergency exception to replace him but were denied. Legans got relegated that season and haven't been back up. Braithwaite has done nothing wrong and yet this is the reception he gets. He got booed, man. This poor guy got fucking booed by his own club's fans. Barcelona's fans and Barcelona, how it's being run, is an absolute joke. And it's disgraceful, genuinely. Not paying their fucking players, their fans being this fucking trashy to their own players right now. It's disgusting, man. It's one thing that you take it out on Twitter, and there are always going to be those negative pieces of shit on Twitter, but not in person, not in the crowd live, man. That's fucked up. Never ask a woman her age, a man his salary, and Barcelona their finance. That's brilliant. That is brilliant. Yep, 100% agreed. That is very worthwhile advice. Oh my god. But yeah, Barcelona is just fucking stupid, dude. Genuinely. Don't get it. So United might be getting Milinkovic Savic. That is quite a good signing in my opinion. I mean, he first they were talking about Rabiot. I think they're still getting Rabiot, but now they're in for Savage as well. Savage would be a good player. Would be a good signing. Sorry. I do hope he comes though. Frankie De Jong. This was the worst though, man. I mean, like, I don't know. I get really upset seeing this. The fact that Timo left. SMS would be good, but they need a DM. Hmm. Yeah, fair enough. I loved Werner, genuinely. Werner was awesome, man. Such a good signing. Just couldn't work out because of like finishing and him not getting enough game time and stuff as well. But if we stuck by him, I feel like he would have done well. He did do well, anyways, to be honest. Like, he was not bad at all. He's very good. Uh, the fucking hard work he put into all our games. He definitely tried his fucking ass off, and that's like one thing that you should always appreciate: the fact that someone has such good work rate and is such a fucking hard worker on the pitch. You can't ask for anything more. And he's way better than that fucking fraud Lukaku, dude. I feel like we should have kept him, to be honest. He was awesome team man and personality. Success skill set didn't work with our plans, particularly against deep lying defenses in the Premier League. Yeah, I agree, but uh, again, man, I feel like if he had a good coach behind him who really supported him, again, you have to understand that he was Lampard's man. He was not Tuchel's man. But even then, like, I feel like Tuchel could have worked on him and really made sure that he develops into the player that he has the potential to be. I mean, you could see from his fucking finishing in Bundesliga that it was cracked. It was fucking amazing. Uh, so finishing and touch wise and all that, he was fine. It's just that into our system specifically, he just didn't fit. But we could have molded that system to try and be a bit better for him as well. But yeah. Anyways, I don't know who we're getting. Broha is like the only striker, the only out and out striker we have right now, which is kind of concerning. because we don't have anyone else. That's mad. And fuck Lukaku, I fucking hate him, man. Such a fucking bastard. Hate him. The Oppa links aren't very inspiring. Yeah, man. I don't like it. I'm not excited about that at all. Honestly. Like, my issue is that we were linked to Ronaldo. Like, we were offered Ronaldo. Cristiano fucking Ronaldo. I get it. He's just like a big name signing and nothing else. But even then, it's fucking Cristiano Ronaldo. So I really wanted him to come because again, एक season के लिए होता, 2 season के लिए होता max. I can understand कि wages would have been through the roof, but again, man, like we have fucking other people on the books who are absolute dog shit. Drink water, and ये Ross Barkley and shit just for like an example. And वो क्या बोलते हैं, Malang Sarr and shit like that. So having Ronaldo, I just feel like dressing room में it would have been insane having that figure. Like having Cristiano fucking Ronaldo in the same dressing room as you, you would learn shit that you can't learn from anybody else. You would learn so much. So I feel like they should have signed him, but again, Tuchel didn't want him. But him being that clinical in front of goal, and us, just imagine Reece James or Chilwell down the left side, crossing it in, and Ronaldo just heading it in. I just know that would have happened like at least fucking 50 times this season if Ronaldo signed with us. But again, yeah, like can't really do much, man. uh, and we have no one else. But now we're fucking going for Oba. Why Oba, man? Of all people, he's Ronaldo, but like divided by a million in terms of skill set. So we should just sign fucking Ronaldo. It would have been nice for the attackers, but Tuchel is very insistent on having a hard-working striker who's going to press a crap load. Man, I get that, but why? Fucking hell, like the striker, the main goal for us right now is to score fucking goals, not press. We need someone who can fucking score, put the ball in the back of the net 9 times out of 10. Right now, all the players we have, 9 times out of 10, they're missing easy fucking chances, which is so annoying. We create so much. Last season, we created so many chances and fucking missed. Absolute sitters. And this has been happening not just last season, for the last few seasons only. Just I feel like the last major goal scorer we had was Diego Costa. That's it. उसके बाद कोई आया ही नहीं है. Obviously, Hazard was there, but Hazard was more so on the playmaking and everything. Obviously, he got a shit ton of goals, but again, I fucking loved Hazard as well. Fucking. Team Werner confirms he left Chelsea and big money. Romelu Lukaku loaned back to Inter. Man, why did I want to fucking sell this piece of shit? Bought for $124 million. That's fucked up. Oh man. At least we got good money for Timo. That's the one positive. Anyways, I'm gonna go off. I have to go for dinner. But Crap Cracker, I don't know who you are. I feel like I do know you. But thank you for watching. Your last 2 Premier League wins were with Costa scoring. Our last 2 Premier League wins? Oh, like the Premier League itself. Yeah. So, wait. Was it the last 2? So 2014-15. Oh yeah, Costa was there. I think that was the season Costa signed, and we had Fabregas. Oh, it was what a season, man! What a fucking season. Mourinho's second season in charge, back. What a season. That was beautiful. And then 2016-17, when Conte changed the fucking dynamics of football. Victor Moses running down the wing, Marcus Alonso running down the left wing. What the fuck? That was insane. Uh, but yeah, Batshuayi getting that winner against West Brom for the title. Amazing. Oh man, good stuff. Good fucking stuff. Anyways, man, thank you for watching, and I hopefully do this again soon, inshallah. Bye bye.